It's that time of the week, that time of the hour. Welcome back for another brand new episode of the Beyond Expedition podcast. We are trios, your favorite dynamic trio team. My boy Brett, my boy Brad, and myself, Eduardo. Don't really got to say it, but it's always good to say it, right?
That's right.
Just to remind the people, the new viewers and new listeners, welcome.
Yeah.
Jump on in. The water is fine. How you doing today, fellas? On this lovely Thursday as we're recording this. Good thing World War 3 hasn't started. At least we hope so, right?
I mean, fresh off the heels of a brand new channel strike.
Oh man, I know. It's we're gonna try to do better. Of course, we're gonna try to strive for getting further out there in the algorithm. And yes, one of our episodes got dinged within the YouTube overlords dinged us, and this is probably like I want to say like third strike at this point, like third or fourth.
No, it's our first real strike. It's our first hard strike.
Oh, really?
And then the first one was a soft strike, and they were both for the same topic.
Okay.
Apparently, when it comes to medical stuff, there's just certain things that the overlords don't want us to openly talk about.
We got to start talking in Morse code here. Like sooner or later, you know what I'm saying?
You just stick to Stephen McCullough and all those other people. Like, they'll tell you the truth, and they are on platforms that it's just YouTube. They're so paid by pharmaceutical controls that they're bought. They're bought and paid for. So
yeah,
we cannot say the truth.
we gotta stick to those lower, I guess, topics, right? When it comes to people's lives here at stake, right?
Yeah, we can talk about social causes, right? Yeah, there's a lot that's affecting us.
Yeah, definitely. So, but nonetheless, the episode's still available on major streaming audio platforms. For anybody that's brand new, we're available everywhere: YouTube and also Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, you name it. We're everywhere. So that episode is still out there. So go check it out before hopefully they don't pull it on there. But nonetheless, yeah, let's dive in on what's going on with current world events, I guess.
Before we go, though, I just want to ask you guys, I mean, how does it feel to be so controversial?
I don't know. I mean, it's like, you wake up and when I first saw it, we're talking about the strike or what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I just don't, it's weird to me because they're going back to older episodes thinking like, we must be in the clear, we're like swimming away.
Yeah.
And then before you know, here comes a great white, like, oh shit, I shouldn't even be cussing for one too. So I'm trying to do my best. So I'm about to bleep that out. Yeah. Hey, bleep that out, right? All right. I'm talking to myself, because I'm the editor and all that stuff. So I'm like a man of many hats. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. It's kind of funny though. They're just going back to just ding us on older stuff, thinking, we're in the clear, but clearly we're not.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks.
Doesn't surprise me. Anytime anytime I'm on game chat, I get banned within like 15 minutes.
Dude, but see, that's the crazy thing.
And I'm in crypto, and we, if you shill too hard for a particular project, they'll ban you. So I'm so used to being banned. I'm just
man. It's kind of surprising though on that end, right? Like speaking on him, because we're avid gamers, right?
Yeah.
So we're at this point where before you would let anything fly on those game chat, what is it, rooms or whatever, or when we're playing Call of Duty or whatever games
you can
play.
say the worst things ever and nothing
Back
would
in the
ever,
days,
no
and
backlash.
it's basically like X today.
Oh, it is. Yeah. So it's mind blowing to me. We're at this point now that if you were to have that fly for the first 5 to 10 minutes, they automatically ban you, or I don't know how long the suspension is, but it's just crazy. We're at that point now where you can't say anything. Like, and that's just kind of like the preview. And it's like my conspiratorial mind gets in that wave, right? Like that's just like the testing the waters to see if this minimal thing they can let it like slide over and like have us accept it for the bigger things that are yet to come. See what I'm saying? So that's kind of my mind.
Here's where this is a good topic,
right,
actually.
Let's get into it.
I didn't expect to go, but so like Twitch was banning everybody for that, right?
For
Twitch was banning people for talking.
I guess on certain topics they were getting dinged for, but they were getting pretty out there where I think they were doing a lot of like nudity type stuff, and like there was people showing a lot of corn out there, so it's like, I guess in those lines where, you're kind of passing into muddy waters, I can
So
see why, right?
So what you're saying though is that they were trying to come up with all these rules, and the idea with banning people is like, hey, you're going to fall in line with this, these community guidelines, right?
Yeah.
And so their idea is they're trying to shape the conversation to go in a certain direction. The thing is it just it becomes an uproar in the existing communities that already talk like that and have no plans of changing.
Yeah.
Okay, and so people are still gonna talk that certain way. So what I've noticed is that Elon Musk has given a lot of people that home to come to, and what I wanted to talk about was the fact that porn, is now.
We got to say corn though, because that's a word where.
So edit that. Then. Yeah. So
keep mine.
Okay. So go back to that. Yeah. So now corn.
Yeah.
Is something that Elon Musk has allowed.
Yes, I saw
on
that.
his platforms.
Yeah.
And now I personally, I was saddened by that decision. But what was very, I don't know if it was strategic or not, but then shortly after allowing that on the platform, he hid everybody's likes.
Yes, I saw that too.
So that just happened. Yeah. And then
like yesterday, it was yesterday, literally. So Wednesday.
Yep.
Yep.
So now you can partake in anything, and I did like the likes ones because I'm in a particular community in on X, and but there's other interests that I have that. I feel like people in my community would like kind of frown upon me on.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of posts I don't like on because I know that people can look at my likes. They can stalk me.
Yeah.
And so I have refrained from liking a lot of posts that I would like. So I like that. I also, but we know that, the uproar ever since Elon has taken X over is the fact that people have said whatever they want to say.
It's a free for all out there.
Whatever they want to say. Nobody's getting banned like they did back in 2016 when they were just banning everybody.
Like Homegirl, just for example of that one of Homegirl.
Yeah. Talk about it.
Oh my! Well, I don't know. Did I send you that picture?
You know what
that
we're
video?
talking
That video.
about
It's a
too.
video of it's a Caucasian female, and she's talking about how she's her like just dating and a little bit of everything, and she literally lets out the N-word. But not in the
Not
way
the ER, not the hard R.
but the most commonly used.
I heard about
the way
it.
the rappers talk.
So, okay, do you if you want
I didn't even watch it though. To be honest, I didn't see it.
so there's a
like I
longer
heard about
video,
it.
right? So this is the thing where people have to kind of like really get to the point of watch the whole video so you can learn the whole context, right? Nonetheless, though, it's fair game if you want to say that, cool. But what comes with it, there's repercussions to sometimes when you say certain things.
Oh yeah,
that's just my thing. That's my belief in everything. So you just be careful with where you say it, when you say it, and around the people you say it. That's all I'm gonna say. But she let out this word out, and dude, but she made a point. Her point was, see how you guys are so quick to be such puppets. For me to be like, I guess they were saying that she got fired from her job, but she actually quit. Now
she quit.
She quit. That's what she said, according to her. Unless I got that wrong. And now she's doing. She got into this new venture where she's going to be making more money than what she was making before. So her point was like, here we are. I benefited off the uproar from what you guys gave me. It's a beneficial to me. So here I am making more money.
So that is exactly the point I was trying to make with Twitch and all of these people, YouTube included. You guys are banning and striking us and trying to shut us up, trying to fit into your narrative. And the people, we are finding ways. And I'm telling you, if we get our third strike on YouTube, we're going to X.
Yeah.
We are going to X.
Straight up.
They have wider audience. Not whiter Caucasian, wider.
WIDER. Okay, for people
like my mom.
Like your mom.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding, mom. But so we already have our plan in the works. So
we've talked about
I am not the least bit intimidated by YouTube striking us if they do, because we've got to be open, we've got to be honest. That was our rule from day one.
Yeah,
we're
that
just
was.
going to say what we're going to say.
Yep.
We're going to speak the truth that we see and we believe, which can be an opinion, whatever. So our opinions are not just ours alone. There are millions of people that express these opinions as well.
Yeah.
So if we're going to have a corporate overlord that wants to shut us up there. That's fine. You're just chasing us where there is another opportunity open that Elon Musk has invited. So, so no fear. If they think that we're going to ban, I'm the reason for both of the strikes. And I am not the least bit intimidated about the drop in numbers and this and that, because X will be our home if that happens.
Definitely.
And I will carry this team alive and all the way back to our numbers if I have to. I'll do it single-handedly.
So definitely, I can honestly say you're on your Pox Red Wings tip right now. You know,
I'm just like all of the other people.
Yeah.
On what they try to call the fringes. We're just tired of the nonsense, of the control, and this is America and freedom. America. These colors don't run.
Yeah, yeah, buddy.
And and the whole premise, the whole thing about being American is having the freedom of speech, having the freedom to act freely, to travel freely within wherever. If we're on, it doesn't matter if you're on one platform or whatever. You guys want to start playing all that? You want to start doing Germany stuff? You want to start doing Ukrainian stuff and start controlling narratives and all this and that? That's fine. Elon Musk is waiting. And if Elon Musk wasn't there, there would be other people. That is what I love about capitalism, and that's what I love about the freedom, the people that recognize the freedom that America has and that offers and affords people in this country, and hopefully one day the world. We have a voice, and it doesn't have to be on YouTube. So that's fine.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair said. I mean, like I said, the initiative was what Musk wants to do with X. He just wants to be a one-stop shop for everything. He's even talked about going up against like Twitch streaming wise.
That's what I'm saying.
And they're saying that he's actually making it to where you'll be able to stream straight on X, where there's a larger audience in regards to like the audience that you would gain subscribers wise to your platform or to your whatever it is that you're doing, right? Like for us podcasting, somebody else gaming, it's way much bigger. He said it himself that it's not even a competition against Twitch if I were to do that. So
yes.
I mean, it's looking like he's gonna step up and make this much more than just tweeting your thoughts or your videos, your GIFs, your memes or whatever. It's gonna be your one-stop shop for everything. Yep. So I'd be cool with doing it. It would suck though, because like on YouTube, it's harder to gain traction on there to get subscribers, and I actually do want to say we are thankful that we have over 200 subs. That's crazy because it's on YouTube. It's growing, slowly, but it's like I see the numbers in the analytics, and I share it with you guys. Like it's crazy to see this thing grow more and more and more, and it trips me out to think like it all started with a couple mics and a couple headsets, and here we are, slowly climbing off the wall to where who knows, sky's the limit. And that's why it just sucks that we have to relocate, right, and start over. But hey, it is what it is,
Yes, and so even with everything I just said, you're right. And to anybody that is watching us on YouTube, this is not against you at all. It has nothing to do with you. It's these YouTube overlords and the snitches that turned us in. I got no love for that.
Yeah, no snitches.
So just let us do our thing. And I got no love for snitches. But
that's straight Montana.
No, I mean that's just straight American,
Yeah, man.
But nonetheless, but you're right. I mean, the things that we have done, it is worth continuing to improve on, and I will do my best to improve where I need to be. It's just that it seems like YouTube continues to look for reasons to slap us. So if they do, even when we're trying to color within the lines, that's fine. We still got a home. So
for sure,
we are edgy. We are edgy by nature. Yeah. We have always had an edge. That is something we're always going to have. The second they try to domesticate a wolf, is the day they find out they get bit.
For sure, it's all about just us having a good time here. We're just here to, get some laughs, talk some ish, and just, have a good time. Bring some laughter to you when you listen to this or watch this. So again, definitely.
Exactly.
So wherever we go, just make sure you follow us, and the saga shall continue. So
could find us on Pornhub one day.
Cornhub.
I mean, wouldn't that be so funny?
Yeah. I mean.
Edit that too. Okay?
we can actually
The hub. We'll call it.
The hub. There you go.
yeah.
That'd be wild though.
But wouldn't that be funny? Like, so
Just
I
a
have,
random podcast uploaded.
so if we go on the hub, and just have like a squeaky clean, no cussing, no nothing, just there, just to like have a thing. We could be like the anti.
Yes. Why don't we start doing it?
We should. We should.
Upload
like,
all of our pods to
and
the
like
hub.
have the merchandise,
Please.
right? With the the platform name on the top, and then having a picture of all three of us in front of our bikes, just squeaky cleaning it.
Oh man,
We can do
that
that.
be
Amazing.
Wouldn't that be such a turn of events? We just get like sponsorships for like with the fleshlights and all this stuff.
Dude,
Hey,
no,
we could do bang a fan.
That's all you, brother.
that's you. That's you.
We'll be the camera crew.
I won't even be there for that.
Give me a good angle, all right?
I'll pray for him.
You'll be the driver,
Hey,
but you'll have to cover it. Like you know,
I think
I'm
it
not
depends.
seeing
I think it
anything.
depends on.
I'm just here to pray for your soul, kids. I want you to see eternal life.
He's gonna hand. Yeah, exactly. He's gonna hand out Bibles at the entrance. People are gonna be coming in with like alcohol and like.
You know how many lives we can change?
one bus at a time.
Yeah.
What was that guy? That guy is hilarious, by the way. That guy you just referenced, the gamer.
Which one?
You know, shadow light, where he's like he throws the shock sticks at the guy over and over and over again, and the guy's like, "Dude, screw you, man!" He's like, "This is so stupid." You're like, it's a Call of Duty thing we're talking about.
Okay.
But yeah,
Meme Central, man. Oh, I love it.
Us
Dude.
Fortnite players wouldn't understand.
yeah.
Oh, dude. But yeah, that would be wild though to think that what if someone I don't think I ever even came across to even like hear of someone even trying to do that type of move. But hey, what if it catapults you up and it just spreads like wildfire? Like,
That's what
yo,
I'm saying, dude.
You know, someone's here.
They want that money.
Yeah.
Whose
Right? Worried
idea
about.
was it?
No, we've talked about this before, like a while ago. Like, what would have happened if we just randomly uploaded a podcast episode to it and just let it fly and see where it goes?
Oh, sorry guys, we didn't know that.
I thought it was YouTube.
Our assistant told us that this was one of the platforms.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, our numbers are growing.
Right. It's like overnight, dude. Just overnight success, bro. Oh, that'd be
I think we have to do it at this point.
I think that's
Eddie, you got
a
to
brilliant idea.
You got to get a creator's account.
I'll have
on
to
the
like
hub.
get like
See,
3 VPNs and all that.
This is what I love about adversity, right? Is these people, they try to scare you into one, and then you're just like, all right, I'll pivot. You know, look at Homegirl. Here she is. She hard it. No, she didn't hard it.
No, it was an A.
No.
It was an A at the end.
Yeah, it was the A. Yeah, that's right. Okay, good.
I think that would have been a full blown racism.
But so as a Caucasian male, it's been explicitly clear. I mean, dude, okay, I've hung out with some brothers, right?
Yeah.
And they've told me mano a mano, like, I can say it. And I'm like,
Really?
oh, back when I was making my
We've all
music
had
and this and
people
that.
like yeah. I had the same
You
thing.
have too. So that's what I'm saying. So like on a
would never
personal
say
level, they'll let you. I never took that invitation. Ever. I would only say it around my white friends. No. I'm kidding.
He's not kidding.
But it was just there are rules as a white person in this country with the history that we've had. Like there are just things you don't say. And you know, here I am, I just right off the heels of talking about freedom of speech and all that. There's also things, social rules that you don't break. And I think that as you know, as Caucasians in this country, I respect it. It's one I'm going to honor. You know, I'm with it, and that's just out of all the love for my brothers. So you know,
it caught me by surprise when I saw that, because it's like, wait, what did she say? I was like, wait. Like, did I hear that? Because she's talking about a completely like I get where she's going with the conversation, and she adds that there. I'm like, wait, what?
So did you see her response?
Her response, dude. She's like, I'm standing on it, and what was that last one? The guy says, "Oh, something about war." Like, I forgot what he says. What does he say? She adds that clip of the guy's like, "All right, well, that means war then," or something like that.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
That's the one you sent me.
Oh,
Yeah, at
okay.
the
Well,
end.
it was just her sitting there like, hey, I've had some time to think about it. And the more I reflect, I just realized I've reached my last care.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, here we go.
So she's
Here
standing
we
on
go.
business
She
on
pulled
that,
a Conor
bro.
McGregor.
Yeah, literally.
And he's like, I just wanted to apologize to absolutely no one.
Yeah, literally.
crazy.
So I mean,
That's
she's
crazy.
definitely, she's making the waves now to where she's propelled herself to be the talk of the town at this point,
Yep.
right? So, but it's just crazy how much you can create that narrative to just poof catapult it like
So-
right away. Like,
Yeah,
to the
she can
moon.
get away with it because she's attractive, right? Imagine an ugly white girl saying something like that. Yeah, no job. Boyfriend dumps you.
Gorlock. Have you seen Gorlock?
Gorlock, yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Oh no, yeah. Things probably wouldn't have panned out too well for that person.
No,
So, yeah.
no, she's got to find a warehouse job.
Yeah, we can find her one.
You pack some boxes.
Oh man, dude. But yeah, it's more of the story. You can create a social media craze, and you can become the next biggest topic. But at what expense?
I think the moral of the story is you can be hot and get away with anything.
Or that. Yes,
That's the truth.
right there. So
So she was hot.
She was decent.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just send you the clip to me what you
Okay.
think. Yeah, so we can add more input. It's always fun when everybody adds their own take on things. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's one of those things where like we send up like each other a bunch of stuff to where it's like we're thinking about the next thing already. It's just kind of hard to come like remember everything we talked about outside the pod and bring it here in the discussion.
I think that's what makes this podcast so easy is that we are always all over it and we're always just, intermingling on the side.
Yeah, it's-
And then it just free flows, right?
different seasonings
This
for
is what
different gumbos, man. So yeah, it works good.
the gumbo.
But nonetheless, players, one thing that that we've talked about that's of interest to me. I mean, I'm sure it's interest to Brett. We were talking about this before we were started recording this episode. Is our boy here is actually officially a coach, right?
Yeah.
A coach or assistant
Coaching-
coach?
Like a life coach?
So I'm a JV head coach and a varsity assistant coach.
Okay, varsity assistant.
Yeah.
Varsity assistant coach
Basketball.
could be
High school in the area.
coach basketball.
Yeah.
Okay. So
God.
it's crazy how this universe works because we've known Brad for a couple years now, and it's fair to say that basketball is kind of your favorite sport, right?
Yeah, I would say that.
And here we are, fast forward, you got yourself into this position to where you're actually a coach for these younger kids.
Yeah.
I mean, how's that experience so far for you, dude? I mean, it's I think it's, to me, the way I look at it, it's like a pretty serious role. Like
Oh, for
a
sure.
very serious
Yeah,
role.
because at the end of the day, like they rely on you. You can't, at work you can decide that you don't want to come in.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you don't show up, then they're not practicing, right?
Okay.
So they rely on you in a lot of ways too that aren't just about basketball. You almost feel like they're like your family, like your kids or your nephews or your friends' kids. Like it's almost like that type of a bond. But it's really fun so far and really rewarding.
That's dope, man.
Takes
That's
up
dope.
a ton of time.
Yeah, it's cool or not cool, but it was funny that you sent me a picture of how you were coaching and you were making him run suicide lines. Well, we used to call them suicide lines.
Yeah.
And I told him it gave me like this PTSD moment because it
yeah.
reminded me when I was in basketball, we used to run those lines, dude. And my coach at the time, Mr. Hall, if he ever comes across this episode, shout out to you, miss you. It was cool playing for you too, but you're pretty savage though as a coach. I just gotta say that. But no, it reminded me of like running back and forth. Like it was always the worst when we would lose, and he knew like going into first practice after that loss, like you guys better be ready to run because this practice after that loss, you guys are gonna run like hell. And it reminded me like when he sent me that picture of those kids, just it looked like they were just tired. I mean, how would I say this? How is it to like jump in there, play that position? Like, is it something you kind of knew, like had an idea in your head of kind of like, how are you going to do this? Or is it something that the coaches there already were kind of already like showing you the ropes and kind of like how they work things? Or did you come over there with your own approach is what I'm trying to ask.
I've been around basketball since I was like 5 years old. Like I used to play on the little 6-foot hoops, like that the YMCA where they're, where you could pull the whole hoop down and it would just fall on the ground.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Like, so I've been playing since I was a little kid. And it's funny because when you're watching basketball, like, right, after my playing career was over, I, mainly, other than a few little coaching gigs that I had, it's mainly as a viewer. So it's just funny watching basketball now from a different scope as a coach, right? So I'm watching just instead of watching the ball, I guess I would say, is now you're watching everything, right? And you're watching like the body language of the players and how they interact with the other players and how they mesh off the court, because that matters. And especially when you're coaching, young kids that are 15 to or 14 to 18 years old.
Oh, okay.
A lot of, depending on where you're coaching, a lot of the kids maybe don't have, a role model or something like that. So a lot of the things that we see as basic, like some of these kids don't know it yet.
Wow.
So we're kind of showing them the way, like trying to build them up as like young men, but then also making them, obviously we want to win basketball games too.
Right.
But along the way, building them up so that way when they become our age, they're well developed and can live a normal life.
Wow.
So, So
it's like a form of community service in a way.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just about to say. I think it's much more than the sport and the game of basketball. There's other attributes that come with it, because I think I've kind of like, we vaguely talk about this because it's like a lot of the stuff, it sounds interesting to talk on the pod, right? Because it's just, to me, it's really good content. But like I was telling him, it's like you're there as like a good role model to be an example to these kids, but also a good role model to these kids, because there could be something that you could contribute at that moment or during that time where it could be such a positive influence to navigate, them to a good path, down the road. Because like, that's one thing that I'm a firm believer in, because I'm trying to put myself in this position when I used to play basketball, because even like if there was times where I couldn't get rides to a game or to practice, my coach was nice enough to give me a ride from my house to the games or to the practice so I could go, or if it's something that I needed, dude. And that meant a lot to me, because it's like, it showed me that like, wow, he cares enough to do that for me. Like I could say like 110% that's actually a huge deal for these kids coming out for me, because that's how I felt. And I would think like other kids definitely like appreciated that, because I would see that myself like firsthand with like the assistant coach at the time, our JV coach, his name his last name was Zale, I forget his first name, but I found out they actually recently passed, so RIP, but he was a cool dude. He would always do, like, if he could, to do whatever it is for any of his players. So like, I always think about Brad, like when I think about that, I think about Brad. It's like, him doing that for these kids. It's like, dude, it's a big deal. Like, it's kind of like, it's like carrying like a good mantle on you, because it's like I said, it's a good contribution to the community, like you're saying, for these kids. Because you never know what they're facing, outside of basketball.
You're doing this. This is brand new to you, right?
So I've coached in the past. I've helped out, but I've never taken on an entire team by myself.
So
other than a kids team, like younger kids and stuff like that. So
what I want to do though, I want to talk about some of this, but I also at the end of this season, at the end of this coaching, I want to follow up. I want to do a follow up on this, because I want to hear what some of these connections turn into, and some of the achievements, and some, because what I'm curious about is things you don't even expect. So I want to hear some of that, because you're playing a role.
I'm excited because I've only been doing it for a short period of time, and I'm already like feeling rewarded. Like my,
in what ways?
Like my just how I feel about myself, and how like I feel like I have a little bit of purpose, a little bit more purpose. And, man,
I love that. That gives me the feels right there.
One thing that I always, and this is going to get really deep. I don't know if we want to go there.
Oh man, good.
I wonder,
this is the place to do it.
A few months, maybe 6 months ago, I wasn't at my highest, and I even would say that I don't really have a lot of friends that like stop by and like say hi, or I don't really have, my family lives on the east side, and I was always wondering like what would happen if I just like died in my sleep. And I don't think anyone would come here like for like until 4 or 5 days.
Wow.
I don't think anyone would even think to even wonder, other than me not answering the phone. And so in a way, like in a sad way, like it gives me, like people are expecting to see me. People need me.
Yeah.
And it feels good to be depended on after feeling like that. You know what I mean? So it's in a way, it's like, it's really good for me.
Yeah.
Just as good as it is for the kids for me to be around. It's equally as rewarding to me as it is to them. Mm-hmm. So like I'm building these relationships, you know, with these kids, and I can tell that they respect me and they want to know what I have to say and they value my opinion. And and it feels really good.
What's crazy about that though, hearing that, is I would have never pictured you in a spot where you were ever like in a dark moment, you know, like every time I see you, you're always making it happen. You know what I mean? Like you've always got the good stories, the best stories. You got me cracking up. And so to hear that, it's kind of like, oh man, you know, like
you just never know what someone's dealing with.
You just don't know. Yeah. And I also, I mean, I've been in some dark places in my life too. So I know where you're at emotionally on that point. But the fact that you found this thing and you're getting that purpose, that is one thing that I hope so many people understand, that is when you find purpose, man, it answers so much.
I think it just opens a different, like almost gate to where, like you said, you meet these, you know, you're in a team, you're head coach of this team. You're building relationships with each one of them, building a bond, like a family, like you were saying, right? Along in the midst of that, as time goes, it's like, who knows where these, you know, like I said, the different changes or different things you could have for these kids to, you know, look up to, in a sense, to where they're going to take that, run with it in life. Like if you can change one person's like just perspective on things, and then just like they become successful, and at least you could say you were part of their story, dude. I mean, that's going to speak for many, many years to come. And those are the things you kind of want to live and be remembered by, because you're going to be like, you know, yeah, you know, my boy Brad was, you know, solid duty. You know, he was there for me, showed up for me, all this stuff. I mean, to me, it's like that's one of the most meaningful things in life, bro. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's like, I mean, it's a fortune to think about it this way, but it's like when it's all said and done for each and single one of us, like, what do we have to take with us aside from just the memories? And that's the thing, the memories, right? Yeah. Like the memories of people that were there for you, that loved you, that just, you know, you could solidly say they were your friends. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Like, you know, at least now, like I said, it's just crazy how the universe works, because that came to you. And now you're here to where like, it's like it worked out for you, you know?
When stepping into this role as a coach, are there coaches from your past that you sort of use as that example you aspire to be like?
Yeah, absolutely. There's and also it's the opposite, right? It's like, if you have a really bad dad, you want to be a really good dad.
Bingo.
Right?
That's what I am as a parent.
And so you could also learn really healthy things from people that are good people also.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there's things that I catch myself doing even nowadays that my old coaches did, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and even because I mean, it's all knowledge, right? Like with the game, I'm running the same drills, you know, that they taught me, and I'm calling the same plays, and I call it the same thing they called it. And maybe when I pull someone to the side, I say something to them that maybe was said to me, but I say it in a different way. I maybe didn't like the way that they delivered it to me.
Yeah.
Then I get to say it in a way that the kid can receive it like the correct way.
That is dope. Yeah. That is dope.
So it's really fun. And also it's oddly satisfying to watch them run. because like Eddie was saying, like he had like PTSD.
Oh,
right?
dude,
like,
it made me remind me of myself when I was like just huffing and puffing, dead tired. I don't know how much more we're going, and I don't want to bring it up because I don't want to be the one be like, oh, you're tired?
Right.
Okay, 2 more. Dude.
Everybody
it was
has
just like
that
in my
coach.
mind, dude. It was just like locked in my mind, reminding me, dude.
So all three of us played basketball, but basketball was not my forte.
Yeah.
I've shared many stories on the pod. But my coach, I mean, he was terrible. If I was good, right, he would have been a great coach.
Yeah.
But I was just his throwaway. Like he knew
We're
that
up by 50.
he wasn't going to waste any time with me, right? Like
You were a positionless
and so
player.
I think his way of coaching was just like by ignoring me enough to say, hey, this ain't your thing. Find something else, whatever. So I ended up in football. And I remember, you talk about those running drills. I remember not wanting to be weak, right? And I remember I loving it one time when we were running. Someone ends up throwing up right? And I'm
yeah,
like,
I remember
yes,
that too.
because then I knew it was over, right?
Yeah.
They were running us till somebody got sick, and it wasn't me. And I just kept, but I loved it when they did throw up because I was just like, sweet, it's over, it's
That's
over.
so funny. So what's interesting about basketball is that it's really easy to tell whether it's going to work or not. Right?
Okay.
Like you can tell within 5 minutes
Whether what's going to work
especially
or not.
at the level of like varsity and JV, like you have to know the game decently well. And so if like for instance at the school that I'm at right now, every now and then I'm out in the hallway and I'm wrangling up people like that are late to practice or whatever, and I'm walking around and they're like, "Hey, are you the coach?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm the JV coach. I'm the assistant to the varsity." They're like, "What?" They're like, "Can I try out for the JV team?" And it's like, come on in.
How does that?
Come on in. Right. And so I've had that happen like 4 or 5 times already. And I would say 80% of the time, the person leaves within 15 minutes.
Okay.
And usually it's really obvious, right? Because we'll be running warm-ups or something, and they'll either get too tired and it's only warm-up, right?
Yeah.
And then we get on, one kid, it was hilarious. He showed up his first day, right? He shows up to our conditioning practice.
Oh.
It's literally the practice that we planned on running them the hardest.
Yeah.
And this kid comes in wearing a beanie.
Oh my.
Right, a Stussy shirt, some what are those Eric Emanuel shorts, and dunk lows.
Yeah.
Like he was like dressed for school basically.
Yeah.
And he came in there and he's like, "Can I try out for the team, coach?" And I'm like, "Hey, you can try, man." And literally we go 5 down and back in X amount of time, 5 down and back X amount of time. We did that like 12 times. By the 3rd time, he said, "Coach, where's the bathroom? I have to puke." And literally, I'm like, "The bathroom's right here," and I kicked the trash can. Right? Because I already had the trash can. I already had it lined up there because I knew people were going to puke.
Yeah.
And usually, that's like the oldest trick in the book. Like,
Yeah.
To go, I got to go puke, and then you go wait out in the hallway until conditioning's over, and then you come back, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, the trash cans are here. If you guys leave, it's
You
over.
see the evidence.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And so the guy, and then a couple minutes later, he sits down, right? And the other coach, the guy running the conditioning, is like, that's the last thing you want to do. And he points at the kid.
Yeah.
So he's getting like basically pointed out in his first 15 minutes of practice.
Yeah.
And then finally he comes up to me and he goes, "Hey coach, I have boxing practice, so I have to leave." I'm like,
What?
All right, man. See you later. Never saw him again.
Never
Saw this kid again.
course.
But with basketball, like you're gonna run.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's the thing, is that I almost feel like, even though I didn't like, some people don't like running.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you don't like running, you shouldn't play basketball.
Right.
Straight up.
Like just straight up. Yeah.
It's so funny. I don't look like I love running. I love running.
Yeah, me
Once
too.
you get into that zone and those endorphins kick in, I love running. It's just my body doesn't like it.
and another thing that's really interesting about that, like we all talked about how we have our coach that made us run, and we all remember, or the PE or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, dude, the coach that I had that made me run the most was my JV coach, and dude, I love that dude. Like Wilson, Coach Wilson was his name. Dude, I remember him as being like one of my all-time role models in life.
See?
Like just because he beat it into us. Like, dude, I'm one of those guys now where like no matter the shape I'm in, I will collapse before I stop.
Yep.
And it's because of that.
Yeah.
It is because of that. And you can't find that in other people in other sports. They just don't. They're like, "Oh, well, I'm hurt." And it's like, "No, you're sore." There's a different, right?
Yeah.
So sorry.
Yeah, no, I think
Yeah.
you just tapped into a really good vein there, because we live in a society that has just become so soft with people that, someone, as soon as you raise your hand, "Hey, this is too hard for me," then we have just grown to accept that. Okay, well, just, it's okay, just sit down. Whereas these coaches are drilling discipline, drilling adversity into these kids and building them. You are preparing them for lifelong success. And that is something that we need more of in this society.
Good role models in general, bro. Because it's like, I mean, dude, it does affect these young kids as they grow up, bro. Like, you see it, you hear stories of it.
Yes.
So it's like, you kind of always ask yourself, well, how is this gonna fix itself, or how's it, what's gonna save it from them going down these horrible paths?
Right.
People like Brad, he has the opportunity to do that with these kids.
Yep.
To say like, at least he can know well that I did my part.
If I would have had a coach, a good coach that I respected, I mean, I could picture myself at my high school parties that I went to, and I'm just rolling a little something up. I could picture myself if I would have had a coach to look up to. Maybe I don't want to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then having that person that I respect, that he doesn't even have to be there, and I'm thinking about him.
Like, he's going to be disappointed.
I don't want to let him down.
Exactly.
Straight up.
Yeah, but that, God, it bothers me so much though now that I've been pushed to that limit, right? Like to where I will pass out, and I actually did it before in a game, like where I will literally go to the ground and lose consciousness before I will stop unless you take me out, right? And so to see someone like within grasp of the finish line, like they're running, and they see a tree, and 30 feet before they stop. I'm never going to understand that. Like, why wouldn't you just finish the 30 feet or the 5 feet? The 10 feet,
all mental, right?
Whatever it is, like you had to stop. You ran that whole time, and you had to stop right when the finish line was right there. There's something wrong with that. We need to fix that. So and I hope that I can do the same thing to these kids.
Nice.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
How far are you into it? Like, have you guys had your first game or not yet?
Oh no, dude! Basketball is a fall sport.
Oh, that's right.
So no, it's actually winter. It's November.
Okay.
So that's like around the first games are I would say like mid of November.
Oh, you guys are starting to practice pretty early, huh?
Oh, because we're rebuilding. We came from we're coaching a team that had a lot of talent and had no coach. Like literally one of the old alumni fought the coach last year. The fifth game of the season, the coach got mad at what one of the alumni was saying, and he got in his face, and the coach punched the alumni.
Dang.
Who was like a young kid and just beat the brakes off of him afterwards.
I know.
So the coach got his ass whooped in front of the team, and then they upgraded the JV coach, who was literally, it would be like someone who's never coached or played basketball really in their life, and made him the coach of a pretty ragtag like hardcore type group, like where you have to earn their respect. And they didn't want to play for him, and they're arguing and fighting in practice and doing all that. And that's kind of what we're starting over now, and we're instilling this is a new regime. Like if you want to play for us, you got to be a good student. You have to be a good kid, and you have to be dedicated to basketball and getting better.
I feel like this is the makings of a Netflix documentary.
Yeah, right. Wow. No, I really actually think that this could be that type of a season, like where they're like from worst to first. Like, dude, I'm not even joking you. This team has enough talent to where we can make a run to the dome. Like, even though which is state, just so you guys know. State. Like, and we're talking from going like last in the league to like state to like maybe winning the title. Like that's how good of talent.
That's amazing.
And we have young talent. Like we have like we're gonna be good. Like this year, okay, this is gonna be it's gonna be a test, right? The year after, look out. Like we're gonna be preseason top 5 in the state.
Man,
You heard it from Coach Jeffries, dude.
Yeah,
we'll definitely have to peep out a game ourselves. Maybe go check out a local.
I'm at Glacier.
I would love.
I'm
that.
at GP tomorrow.
Okay.
But I mean, it's just a summer game. But you guys should come to the legit, like come to the varsity games.
Yeah, dude.
Love to.
It would be popping too.
Yeah,
like those games. They're one of those schools, kind of like I would say like where I went up north. They're like the small town, like pack the gym, people standing at the entrance trying to find a way to get in.
Yeah, okay.
It's like that. Like
really?
they have expectations. Yeah. So
we'll have to be like, what is it? Standing there making it seem like we're part of the crew too with our aviators, just pretending we're coaches, but we're not really coaches.
Oh, we're like vibes.
We're like a security guard.
I got all my coaching gear now too. I got the quarter zips.
I'll be in Pit Vipes in a Sean Kemp jersey.
Yeah, man.
Rain Man.
It's pretty interesting though, because the school does have quite a bit of professional players that they've produced. They have a hallway actually of all the jerseys.
Oh, really?
Like the NFL jerseys and the NBA jerseys and stuff like that.
Okay,
it's pretty interesting.
That's amazing.
Any notable ones? Any notable ones that you can say?
Honestly, no. But there's just a startling amount compared to where I went.
Oh, okay.
Because you could only put on one hand. like, you know, in Snowhill. Like, how many, like maybe 3 that have ever gone to the league or like gone to MLB or anything like that. But it's like they got.
I don't think my high school produced even one.
They have like 17 players in all sports or something like that. Like gold medalists to the Olympics.
Oh wow.
They had a guy up in the rafters that said Army All-American Bowl MVP.
Oh wow.
So it's like the high school like McDonald's All-American game, and the guy won like MVP like 4 years ago.
That's cool.
Yeah, so there's a lot of athletic talent.
Dope.
So then, you got to keep the streak alive, and maybe one of these young cats that you're coaching, man, he'll end up in the big leagues.
What about like jerseys and all that? You guys got all that stuff paid for?
So they have jerseys from last year, but the coach and we're looking at ordering new jerseys. Just new day, we don't want the old loser.
Something fresh.
We're wiping the
something we
loser.
can sponsor? Is there something within our range that we can sponsor?
I don't know if that would be appropriate. Just based on our like being associated with a high school and our podcast.
I'm not saying we have to put our name on it. I'm just saying on the sly, like throw some money at it.
Oh no,
it could be an anonymous donation. It doesn't have to be. We're not putting our name on it.
I'll let you guys know if we do any fundraising, though. I appreciate
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
The pod's name on the
because I love like community stuff, right?
Yeah.
And especially when you got your boys involved in the community, it's just like I give money to the church. I'm giving money to the community.
Yeah, when we do a fundraiser, we were already talking about that too, because a lot of the fundraising for my team is actually done like by the parents, because what they do is at least at our school is they give. So let's say during a varsity boys basketball game, the parents will work the concessions.
Okay.
And that's the way that they get. So basically, the high school allows for the program to pocket the money that they generate through concessions.
Okay.
And so it's not a ton of extra money. I'm assuming we're going to have to do other things also.
Yeah.
But that's like the baseline of it. So,
or there's like a kid that for whatever reason, is in need, right?
Oh,
But if
yeah.
there's, like
Something we can
Yeah,
we can
there
be
you
like,
go.
hey, we got
yeah,
you, champ.
something like that.
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Something like that.
Yeah. Because I mean, like I said, I do have a couple of kids that I don't know if I told you about this kid. Actually, he's 15. He wears a size 16 shoe.
Damn.
And he reminds me. Have you seen The Blind Side?
Yeah.
He literally reminds me of that kid.
Really?
He shakes my hand and his hand is on my wrist.
Gee.
Wow.
Yeah, and he wears a size 16. And so I was like, the other day I was looking at him. I'm like, do you have basketball shoes? And he's like, no. And I'm like, so he's got
that.
He's got running shoes.
We got that.
So,
Okay. We'll
but
talk.
let me verify. Let me verify his.
Yeah, no,
size.
we'll talk. We'll talk. We'll definitely talk. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's cool that you're doing that, dude. Definitely, kudos for you to doing that, because like I said, it's definitely a big, like, it's a serious role, because I said, like, these kids will, like, once they build that relationship with somebody like that, and they just, they want that, like that I guess, a perspective from somebody that's, obviously lived a little bit longer life and just been, is older. It's like, it means a lot to them, I think,
Yep.
and because I said firsthand for me, growing up, being part of the basketball team, it is a big deal. So I'm sure it's gonna be a big deal to them. So yeah, man, it's gonna be awesome to hear the stories what you got cooking up next when we retouch this topic down the road in a couple months. So that'll be cool to touch base. But yeah, cool things, man.
Thanks,
cool
man.
things,
Appreciate it, guys.
Moving on to just the agenda. I mean, boys, what else do we got cooking in this crazy world? I mean, what is it? Let's see. Do you want to dive into what you're talking about? How we might go to war, people. It's closer than ever.
Well, eventually we will.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like
it's happening.
There's a lot of things happening right now in regards to just there's a certain thing happening with these ships coming from Russia, or was it Russia?
Russia.
Russia,
Cuba, right?
And close to Cuba, 70 miles away from Florida, right, or something like that.
We are 100 miles.
100 miles.
We have a
100
war
miles.
every 10 to 20 years, so this is expected.
Well, and not okay. So I think what's weird, right, is all those regime changes that were taking place under Obama. It was with nations who had conspired to get off of the U.S. dollar and trade oil without in their local currencies and different currencies other than the U.S. dollar. So the petrodollar has always been the play. So the whole military industrial complex decision was to say, hey, we're just going to throw them out. We're going to throw Gaddafi out. We're going to throw Hussein out. We're going to throw, all these countries that got regime changed by Obama and Bush. It was because they wanted to get off the U.S. dollar, trade with different currency. Well, now Saudi Arabia has just come out and said, we are not renewing that 50-year deal with the U.S. dollar. That is going to put us into free fall. You saw the Russian ruble drop when they first invaded Ukraine.
Yeah.
The U.S. dollar, this is going to impact us big time. The fact that because we used to be backed by gold until 1971 when Richard Nixon came out and they made a deal with the Middle East and said, we're off the gold standard, but we're going to replace the value of the US dollar with gold. So it's now the petrodollar. That is gone. There is nothing to back the value of the US dollar with other than the military. The military is the only thing propping our US dollar up. So one thing I recommend people doing right now is absolutely getting into Bitcoin. If Bitcoin scares you, then at least for God's sake, get into gold, get into anything other than the US dollar. Because you're right. We have to go to war if we are going to protect the US dollar, right? But none of us want to go to war. So get into something because BRICS right now, they have they were the ones that announced that Saudi Arabia not renewing the deal with the petrodollar. So that's real stuff. That is real stuff. The U.S. dollar is going to, and you're seeing it, the inflation. So they're hiding numbers. They're lying to us about the numbers. They're using other figures in there. Real inflation is closer. What they're telling us, it's like 5%. No, we're closer to like 30%. So you get us into hyperinflation, that is where you start seeing currencies explode. We saw it in Venezuela. We saw it in Argentina? I don't know. But Zimbabwe, they are notorious for it. They thought that they could just print all the money in the world, which is what the Fed is doing as well. The Federal Reserve thinks that they can just print unlimited money. So that is going to be something that if you are at all paying attention to this stuff, it is a really good time to get out of the dollar and into real assets such as gold, silver, precious metals, or digital currencies such as Bitcoin. Ethereum is another safe one, and Ethereum is, with the ETFs that they're accepting, that's going to raise in value. But U.S. dollar, it's going to be one you're going to want to get out of.
It's crazy to think.
Crypto genius over here.
Yeah, no, yeah, he spent some true game.
I go beyond
some advice.
crypto.
It's not financial. It's not financial where you got to listen to. It's just a little heads up. Hey, this is what he would recommend.
Well, I recommend you do your research on this stuff. If everything I'm saying, just go to resources and go to your local coin gold dealer and ask them what their opinion of the U.S. dollar is. People that I talk to have been telling us for years to get out of the dollar. So I mean, it's just It's something, and they have the facts. Those guys they're gonna lay it down. They're not gonna blow smoke. But any government figure, they're going to blow smoke. So if you're getting your information from government sources, buyer beware. And also a caveat with Bitcoin. What I will say is if you're buying Bitcoin, do not leave it on the exchange. So such as Coinbase, if you're buying Bitcoin on Coinbase, say there is a market disruption enough to where people are, selling their Bitcoin and whatever. Yeah. And say Coinbase goes bankrupt. The way that the laws are set, there is no FDIC insurance for cryptocurrencies. So the way that you protect your Bitcoin investment is to get it off of the exchange and into a hard wallet such as Ledger, Trezor, what have you. So a hard wallet is what I recommend. So if it's something that you're new with and need to learn on, there are so many videos. Go to a Ledger video, go to a Trezor wallet video, and they will show you how to do that. But don't keep it on an exchange.
Yeah, that's. Do you think? Okay, so now that things are sort of shifting in regards to initially at the beginning of this, when we switched subjects, we said that there's Russian military ships just right by Cuba, right, or at Cuba, close by Cuba,
in Havana, Cuba port. It is ported.
Do you think now this is a flex on Putin saying, "You want to play this game? Okay, so be it. I'm gonna put some of my warships or submarines close to your territories."
I think he is a global leader that is protecting his country.
Okay.
He has had his pipeline blown up. He has had his country borders invaded.
Yeah.
Encroached upon by NATO. And he has said, enough is enough. I have told you guys, this is a direct flex. This is a direct response for the U.S. Biden telling Ukraine that we are going to give you American arms. We are going to arm you with American. And that was always a deal breaker. That was a red line. Putin always said the whole time, this is not going to happen. You do that, then it's coming your way too. So I hope you're ready. And it's not going to be just Russia that we're fighting. Russia has deals with other countries, Iran, and China has always been kind of in the air. They're gonna go with the winner.
Yeah.
But for darn sure, they're working with Russia in certain capacities. So
yeah, I think I did see something about that. The president of China, that he said that he didn't really want it to get to the level of nuclear warfare. I don't know how true that is. I don't know how much
he doesn't.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're right when you're saying that they're kind of in the air in regards to like what side they choose. But I mean, it's fair to say they're kind of really rubbing elbows with Russia at the end of the day, because they're not really.
Russia has more nukes than we do. And they, so it's going to be catastrophic.
Yeah.
If this goes through, catastrophic. I mean, we're talking World War II, World War I. It's going to put all of those numbers to shame, and it's going to impact every single American. You're going to have all these people that have come into this country that are going to, they ain't going to be able to get out quick enough. They're going to want to go back to their home countries. Anybody who has come here from Mexico, south of the border, but also people that are coming from China, people that are coming from countries in the Middle East, they aren't going to want to be here when this thing pops off. You know what I mean?
It's wild to think about, man. It's
wild to think about. I mean, but the mainstream media is shielding all of this stuff. They are playing cover for this current administration, and I think it's to the detriment of a lot of our safety. I think that they're doing a disservice by hiding all this information from us.
Yeah, man. It's crazy times we're in, man. The more and more of the stuff that you kind of like see out there, that like things are they're being played out, and they're not really giving us the full gist of what's going on.
No.
It's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
Kind of messed up. We're kind of getting put in this beef. It's like us getting put in a beef where we're like not really involved with. It's like now we're caught up in the mix. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
right.
We're not the enemy. Like we're not the ones asking for
this.
Well,
I think a lot of us Americans, for those of us that have always been patriotic, I think a lot of us are gonna like say Russia does start dropping nukes on us, and if I see any helmets coming in that are our own, I can't wait. I can't wait to start playing, right? Start exercising my Second Amendment, But at the same time, there's just so many, like, for those of us that have been paying attention to Russia and the provocation that the American government has done to this country, a lot of it is just like America has been the world bully for far too long, and I think there's a reckoning that has been building up with the rest of the world. The rest of the world wants to chin check this country and really let us know where we really sit.
Yeah.
It's just this country, the CIA, has wrecked a lot of the rest of the world's dreams just to get us on the life and society that we want to have. we have all these comforts that we really shouldn't have because we've just taken all of that away from other people.
SD card is full. SD card is full, dude.
Yeah.
When did that pop up?
I just noticed it just now.
It's full. I don't think it's recording anymore.
No.
Well, well, it's recording on the camera.
Okay.
So, I mean, if anything, yeah, the audio's gonna suck if we're recording this on camera. We just noticed that it just our SD card is full for no reason. It's wild to me because that thing has plenty of memory.
Well, we've been going for an hour and a half. So
Is it an hour and a half?
I think so.
It's 5.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're gonna wrap this one up. Sorry that the audio quality is bad, but this conversation shall continue on the next one. So we're gonna sign this one out. I'll make it real quick for all those who haven't subscribed to any of our socials or YouTube. Go do so. Do yourself a favor. Make it easy. IG Beyond Expedition Podcast. There's a link in our bio. It'll take you. We're available on major streaming platforms. So make it easy for yourself. Go there and check us out. But until next time, we're gonna sign this out. Hopefully you're having a fantastic when you listen to this and when this drops. We'll catch you next time. Peace.
Peace.